buddy. You still dancing?
Yeah, I was getting in. That's the best theme music opener of any channel. Honestly, Rachel, I love it. I love every time you play.
You.
I get so into it.
I looked long and hard for that one.
Shannon, Gene P, what's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna say hi to everybody.
People rolling in.
I just wanted to change something on Nightbot. Here we go. Haha. Okay. Let's see who was all here tonight. Who's the early birds? Well, I know one person thought there was a late bird. Oh, look.
I was the early bird.
Yeah, I know. Some dude named Mark.
Yeah, so what the hell is this ethics stuff?
Firefighting, firefighter detecting. Who else we got here? Trying to see you all. Dispatch detecting, stuck on you magnet fishing.
I've never heard that channel before. Is he newish? Stuck on you metal detecting?
Yeah, they're new.
Okay, I'm going to check them out.
I put the AAP.
Luke, why ain't you on that damn van loading up your property and on the road to your new place?
Dirt Clod, Piney Man.
Well, I get some hard hitters in here tonight, Rachel.
Yeah. They said that we have started packing the U-Haul.
Okay.
You got to go, bam! AAP.
Bam! The original bam. Okay.
Yeah, he had it before Emerald.
Oh, way before. Yeah, Luke had that for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
He'd aim at the camera. Bam!
So I hope everybody's doing well. Sorry. Hope you guys survived last Wednesday. It looks like y'all did because you're here tonight. So for the most part.
We got a nickname, Luke, the original Bam Bam.
Yeah, there you go.
That's Luke's new nickname, the original Bam Bam.
The original Bam Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was wanting to go to my promotion in Vermont the weekend before last, but it's like 80% rain all weekend. So Sunday I decided to head out to West Virginia because I was going to go there on the way back from Ohio, but I ended up going there before Ohio and spent a few days with the Clarks. Went to this place called Hillbilly Hot Dogs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was good too. Oh my God.
Just a name.
Wait till you see the video. I don't know if it's going to be long enough, but I took a lot of video there. And I don't know how. All right, so I'm a metalhead, hard rock, metal. But I did hear of this band. I just didn't really listen to them, but I know who they were. And they actually went on tour with Blink 182. And the band was called Orgy.
Oh, okay. Late
90s, early 2000s. So the bassist was Paige. And so there was this dude there, and then you could eat outside, or they have like these emptied out school buses, and they have the bench seating in there, but it's the school bus seats that you're sitting on. And I kept looking at this guy. I mean, I wasn't staring at him. Occasionally I'd look over because he was a little odd looking, if you know what I mean. Like, not offensively odd, but he didn't fit in. He did not fit in. He kind of had his hair going, just different ways. And the dress and everything, he just did not really fit into where we were at anyway. So after a while, and he looked over it. What's up, the Ento Samurai? How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, Jackson's here. Patty DeSharoon.
Oh, did I miss people?
Beeps. Yeah, a lot of people.
Oh, I did. Wow.
Lucky Luke Prospecting.
Hey, Lucky Luke Prospecting. Thank you for joining in tonight. Future Bleeps. Sorry about that. My chat didn't scroll. I happened to notice on the StreamYard. So I looked over. Finally, I looked at the guy. I was like, because he looked over at us a few times. I guess because he was F-bombing, but, I kind of was too. And so I looked at him. I said, I'm going to guess you're not from here. He was like, no, I'm not. Hey, Expressions. What's up, Wayne? Then I said, I'm going to say you're in a band. He's like, yeah, I am. So I'm going to say you're the front man. He goes, I am this time. I said, oh, you were not a front man before in another band, and that's when we got to talking. So Robert actually knew him, who knew who he was, knew the band, knew who he was. So like here we are in East Bumble,
Yeah.
West Virginia, at this place called Hillbilly Hot Dogs in the middle of nowhere. And we run into a dude from LA named Paige, I think it's Foley, who is a bassist for the band Orgy. So he's got a new one called Drugs for Joy. But not meaning drugs,
Yeah.
So they should be out in the next couple weeks getting all their stuff together and stuff like that. So just keep an eye on it. Yes, deep fried hot dogs. I had a corn dog and I had one of their ones that didn't have too much stuff I didn't like on it.
Hey, Lucky Duck.
And fried pickles, but they were deli pickles. I don't know if a lot of people know what I was surprised to find deli pickles out in West Virginia. They're the ones that are real mild flavored. They're not sweet like a hamburger pickle. They're not, got that little bite like a sour dill pickle.
Yeah.
Deli pickles are a little firmer, a little bit of saltier. So that's what they used for their fried pickles. So I'd never had that. I've had hamburger pickles. I didn't like it that way. I like the sour pickles, fried pickles. But the deli ones weren't actually really that bad. But it was pretty good. And then I headed out to Ohio to hang out with Flash in Your Pan. Team PG5 mostly got together. It was Team PG5 -1. B3 Relic Recovery couldn't make it. So it was Flash in Your Pan, and Nailed the Detecting and Ohio Metal Maven.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we hung out. Hey, JBP. And we hung out there that weekend. So it was a lot of fun. And then I got home Monday, and then it's been hotter than Hades here, so I haven't really done much of anything.
Future Beliefs. Marty.
Hey, Marty. So I mostly just did nothing. Because, I walked outside to let Slash out and go have a smoke, and it's like...
That was it.
It's like an oven. Yesterday was 98. The real feel was 105. It's just been really hot. It's been hot.
When you open the front door and sweat drips off you, I'm not going out. Yeah,
the humidity's not bad. But it's just like walking into an easy bake oven or something. It is hot outside.
The humidity's been a bear down here where I'm at. So,
has it? Yeah. It's probably moving up this way. I don't know. But I'm just glad I'm not delivering mail. Hey, Lucky Duck Digger. She said it's ridiculous in North Carolina.
I bet.
I know GP said it's been hot down there. A lot of people. It's been pretty hot all the way. But I'm looking at the Vermont property, and it's in the low 80s, and I'm like, oh, I'd rather be there. But there's chance of thunderstorms all the rest of the week. So I'm like, it's not even worth it to go up again. And I'm starting to get antsy, because I really want to go check it out. So I might have to wait till Columbus Day weekend to go up there and check it out.
There you go.
And see who, up that way might want to come over and explore the property with me. Then if it's a property that produces pretty well, might do something with it in the future.
There you go.
Yeah. So it should be fun. So what did you do this weekend, Mark? I know you got out for a little bit, right?
Let's see what I do. Piper came over Friday and Saturday, then got real sick Saturday, tested positive for COVID, so she wanted to go home. So I just chilled Saturday, but Sunday I went out to Riverview Park, a local park around here.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good day, I'm not going to lie. And you were right about that one relic, what it was.
Yeah.
You were right.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
I was just throwing one out there. I was like,
so everybody, if you want to know what relic I'm talking about, you're going to have to watch my video whenever I get around to releasing it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I can't say more than that.
Yeah, I'll just say it's Victorian age.
Yeah, definitely is. I detected a little bit at the Clarks. Um, I think on Monday, no, maybe Tuesday. Because I got out there Sunday night, and Monday we went to Hillbilly Hot Dogs. That was pretty much all we did. Then Tuesday they both had things to do, so I kind of went outside for a little bit. Then it started raining, and I think Wednesday it was hot. So I didn't really detect too much there. And then at the out in Ohio at the GBA chapter out there, the Buckeye chapter that had Gold Rush days. I mostly panned a little bit, like Chad and Nicole learned how to use the high banker because they'd never panned, never dredged, never used a high
Right.
banker. They didn't use the dredge. I guess none of us really wanted to go way out in the water because the water, I mean, until you got used to it, it was actually really cold. So they both did the high banker for a little bit, and then Chad just like kept doing it. He really liked doing it. I showed him how to clean the things, and I'm not hey Mudswat, I'm not all that knowledgeable. And then I had that
GTV.
classifier, so I just took my bigger pan and just I mean my little pan and my big pan in a 5-gallon bucket, and I classified it into the 5-gallon bucket, 1/2-inch classifier. And then Ed gave me the stack of them, so it's a quarter, eighth, and then the fine one. And then I just played with that for a while. I got a couple little flakes out of it. But mostly, Nicole's a rock hound, so we were walking the creek trying to find artifacts. I did find a worked piece of chert. Hey, Jim Steele. And she found a lot of interesting rocks. I found a few. I don't really collect rocks, so I gave them to her. But I did keep one that has garnets all up in it. So if I bust that open, it's probably full of garnets.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have it, right on me right now because I didn't set up for that. But yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. I had fun. I don't want to go back to work Monday.
Jim, what's up, Mr. Steele?
So yeah, tonight's topic, I thought about this the other day because I've been filling in holes in this 100-degree weather. Is the metal detecting code of ethics? Because I know there's a few new channels out there and stuff. Yeah, Lucky Duck Digger, you got to check out Ohio Metal Maven. She loves rocks. And I didn't know, I was curious to know if anybody, your thoughts on metal detecting ethics. Do you know what, for the most part, they are? Do you know the difference between the ethics and the laws? Because I have seen people put. Do you know what ethics is? Some people might not. I think most of you do know. Ethic is not a law. It's something you can do, but you probably shouldn't do.
Yeah, it's shit you can do, but you shouldn't.
Right. Dispatch just found first Indian head penny, 1863. That's like a first year.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a fatty. That's the first year.
That's a fatty. Yeah, that's a fatty.
Yeah.
First
the first
Indian's
year?
a fatty. I think 63 is the first year.
Yeah, aren't the fatties to like 1865?
Yeah.
What's up, Chad?
Yeah.
I was just talking about you.
Hey, nailed it, Chad. What's up, brother?
Jim Steele said, ethics is a personal law. Exactly. I mean,
yep.
Where is it? There it is. Slash had a good 2 days, and today he decided he's dying again. So he has some special chewies that we picked up that has hemp products in it, and he's laying comfortably right now. He decided to jump off the bed.
Hemp products. Did you swing by Luke's house on the way somehow?
No. I got him some treats to help him with his pain until he's fully better. He's fine. And then today he decided he could jump off the bed. So now he's sleeping right now. But as soon as we got home, he was like, "Oh, I'm great." But, he wasn't climbing on anything. He wasn't jumping up, but he did jump off the bed today.
Yep.
So yeah, Jim said ethics is personal law. So Do you know what like the metal detecting code of ethics is? Is my question for everybody. Jim Seal says, "I may break a law, but never my ethics."
Yep. I think it has something to do with filling your holes, taking your trash, and some other stuff.
Yeah. Well, uh, it basically, yeah. A lot of them probably coincide with most outdoor activities.
Yeah.
Leave it better than you found it, which would mean remove all trash and litter when you leave. If you dig that hole and you pull it out,
It's yours.
it's yours. You
You
now
own
own
it.
that can, that shotgun shell, that hot rock. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt walking around with 300-year-old coal in my bag, but I dug it out. And I'll take it because if you get a handful of it together, it sure sounds like something really good. So I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
rebury it and redig it in 2 years,
Yeah.
and I'll do that. What is
Well, I've done it.
expressions?
Yeah. Like when I first got into this, I'll admit I didn't like. I wasn't the best at removing all my trash, but then after I dug the same piece of trash like 2 or 3 times, I'm like, you know what? You better get better at doing what you should be doing and just take the damn crap with you. So I do now. If I dig it, I own it. It's mine.
Exactly. That's the way I feel. Shotgun shells, all of it. I don't want to
Yeah.
walk around with 70 of them either, but I dug them. They're mine. Tossing them to the side, re-putting them in the hole, and definitely fill in your holes. I'm like I said, I spent the last 2 days in 100-degree weather with the sun beating down on me since I got back from Ohio, filling in holes in a place I detect all the time because it's not a public park, it's not a state park, it's not a county park, it's actually a preserve, and it's run by the New Jersey Audubon Association, and they can easily put the no detecting there clause on it. So
Mm-hmm.
I made sure a few years ago, to get permission there. I also volunteer for them as well, so that when they finally do put it up, I'm grandfathered in.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of people on it and a lot of open holes, a lot of really crappily filled holes right on the trails. The moat areas that you see are trails for the horses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, nothing ticks me off more than an open hole or a hole with trash in it still. Yeah, people who don't fill their holes suck.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised. Some of it's people have been digging for years and years, and they'll sit there and tell you, fill your holes and agree with it.
Yeah.
Same with removing all trash. You got the ones telling everybody remove all trash. Not all of them do. I will leave
You're
a
right.
can. It's even in one of my videos. I dug about 2 feet deep. Still didn't get to that can. I left that can.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, I've shredded cans trying to get them out, so I won't actually
So have I.
bring them.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, would you mind if we put up the code of ethics?
Yeah, do you? You can share it. You should be able to share it.
Yes, I'm trying to do. See if I can here.
I just have to okay it. Okay.
Share screen, metal detecting code of ethics, share. I think should be coming your way.
Yeah.
There we go. This was on Mind Lab site. Their code of ethics.
It's probably about the same as.
Yeah,
Let
I've
me take
noticed that. Yeah. Let me see if I can scroll it down a little so I can get it more in center. There we go. Yeah, it may be worded differently, but basically it's all the same. Yeah, basically it's all the same.
Well, go ahead and
Following
read them
local,
off.
state, federal, follow all local, state, and federal laws related to metal detecting. Respect private property and never metal detect on an area without permission. Pack out what you pack in and properly dispose of any trash you find. Leave all gates, structures, and personal property as they were before. Fill in every hole you dig. Leave no trace you were there. Never dig in a way that harms vegetation, wildlife, or changes natural features. Report any significant historical artifact to local authorities. And be an ambassador for the hobby by being courteous and thoughtful at all times.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah.
But they don't have several others that
Right.
we should be following as well. I mean, they did say ask permission first, find out your local laws and such. Um, respect the rights and properties of others, but also don't poach.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't poach. Don't
If
nighthawk.
you're, yeah, don't nighthawk, don't poach. If you're gaining permission to a home or a farm, especially let's for example, it's a historic area. What I would normally do is just say, has anybody ever detected your yard? Yeah, because first you want to clear it out for yourself. And they're like, yeah, I had like, a couple few people out here, or I got this guy Joey comes, a couple Saturdays every month, So if you find out, and that's one way to find out if somebody already has a permission there, because 9 times out of 10, there might be somebody having a permission at any place that looks historic. That's how I ask. Yeah.
Very true.
And
Gene.
if I find out if there's somebody, there's somebody that comes by and detects your property on a regular basis. Yeah, okay, well, thank you. You don't jump on somebody else's permission. So, like the owners could tell yes to anybody they want to. If I had 50 people come and ask me to detect on my property, I could tell all 50, yeah. But really, the first one, if they're still actively detecting it, it's their permission.
Right.
And the other thing, like Mind Lab is not talking, you didn't put up there, is also if somebody brings you to their permission or their spot in a public place, but it's their spot, that's a spot they've been hitting, and they bring you to it.
It's their spot.
You don't go there yourself, huh?
Yeah, it's their spot. It's just like if you get taken to a permission, say it's a farm, yeah, that is not automatically your site. That's still your friend or the person that brought you site. You're just a guest. So you can't assume that you can go back there anytime you want to and hunt, because you can't. Ethically, you can't. It's not your permission. It's somebody else's permission.
Right. The same with I have a little spot, deep in a county park that I hit on a regular basis. And if I take you to it, I would assume you wouldn't go there yourself. Even though it's a public park, you have every right to go over there. But if you know that I've been hitting this spot, it becomes like my spot. Or if you took me to your little, area in a off a beaten path that you found, that's a public place that by rights I can go walk up and detect tomorrow. But I know you've been detecting it. I'm going to stay away from it unless you say, hey, if you want to come here, by yourself, go ahead. But you don't say that. I don't go there without you.
Well, it's funny because Matt and I treasure hunt in southwestern PA. We used to detect a lot together. So one time I went out to this. I was doing some research. I found this really neat site. I went out there and I was finding some pretty good stuff. And I called Matt up and I went, Matt, man, I'm at this site where I just can't believe the crap I'm finding. He goes, really? Where are you at? Now, he never told me about where it was. So I sent him the GPS coordinates. He goes, you son of a bitch, that's my honey hole. I was like, Matt, I'm sorry. I'll leave right now. I did not know. He goes, no, stay there. You found it. I never told you about it. And you just happened to discover it as well. So now it's our honey hole. So, but something like that can't happen. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If I haven't taken you, or you haven't taken me, or such with the same with the chat, if we haven't taken each other to our personal honey hole on public land, and another person stumbles across it, that's different. They wouldn't know that's my honey hole or your honey hole,
right?
Patty's honey hole. They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But if they've been there, or there are those in our lovely YouTube community who will study your videos to find out where you are.
To find where you're at.
Yeah, that's why you'll see a lot of people. Buckaboy is a good example. He never lifts that camera.
He's right on the target, right on the grind.
Yep. He doesn't want to know where people are because he's got a good spot.
Mhm.
And, you know, same with public parks. Me, I don't care. I'll show you. I'll give you the coordinates if you want to go there. But
I'll even name the park. I'll name the park. As I'm at Riverview. I'm at Frick. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, there are people. If you hit a good spot, they will study it, especially if they know you're on public land. And some may even do it if you're on a private property. And you know, hey Jima.
Lost Boys, how you doing, man?
Hey Andy. Booyah. Jima's over on Facebook. She's part of my club. So how do you get around park laws in New Jersey? It's not getting around them. I live in a county that most of parks allow you to metal detect in them. One way you could Google is like, say you live in Middlesex County and you want to know if you can detect in those county parks. So what you do is like Google Middlesex County Parks and Middle County. Okay, I got this. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, Danny boy.
Hey, Danny.
Middletown Parks and Recreation rules and regulations, and then look through it because it may not specifically say no metal detecting, but it will say, especially Middlesex County does say this: do not disturb the ground, the grass, the foliage. Don't remove anything. This, that, and the other. So basically, they're saying you can't metal detect without saying you can't metal detect. My thing was well, you didn't say I couldn't metal detect, so. But other ones do other county parks, other counties will specifically say no metal detecting. Then you could also check with your city parks rules and regulations. If they don't have anything written, you could always call the county seat or the city.
Well,
but I would personally go in person. I would go in person. You'll have much better chance of them saying, "Yeah, go ahead." Well, Ocean County, you have to have a permit.
On my phone, I keep that because when I first got into this, Rachel, I texted our city parks department and asked them, "Is there any? Is it illegal?" And they said, "No, it's not illegal." So I keep that on my phone at all times. So if somebody wants to be smart ass and come up to me, I can just show them my phone and say, "No, it is legal to metal detect in a city park," and I have proof here on it from the city parks department, so nobody can say anything to me.
Hey, Team Lynch. Yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, no problem. It's good to know the rules and regulations. And like I said, one way to do it is to, just go on their website, whatever county you're in, Bergen County in the case of Jima. Yeah, you can detect all you want, but you can't dig. But see, you can get around that one too. I'm not digging. I'm cutting a plug. But
take a screwdriver with you and just pop it up if you can.
Yeah, if you could do the old school thing, yeah. So yeah, you definitely want to check that. Most of our beaches, you're allowed. Sandy Hook, you're not because it's a federal park, and they think you're going to dig up munitions. But you could take little Johnny with you to the, family outing, and little Johnny could dig a 6-foot crater. That's perfectly okay. I think Team Lynch knows which beach you need a permit or you license, whatever. There's one beach that's down by LBI. And then the end of that beach you cannot detect because it's a bird sanctuary.
Yeah. Where my favorite is the lady walking her dog that leaves a big pile of poo and doesn't clean up after it is the one that comes after you because you dug a hole.
Yeah. Or the lady or a man who walks their dog, ties up the dog in the dog poo in a bag and then tosses it onto the side of the path.
I hate that. Yeah.
Like, don't even bother bagging it. Just take a stick and knock it in the woods. It's biodegradable. That bag ain't. What's going to happen is it's going to be 110 degrees out. Sun's going to beat on it. It's going to swell up and explode crap on somebody walking by.
That'd be cool, though, wouldn't it? Just as long as it ain't us, I like to sit there and watch it happen. That'd be funny.
But said I could swing the detector, but I am destroying the wood chips, moving them around. Oh,
Hey, Tim and
not the
Kathy.
kids playing there. Yeah, all federal parks. In New Jersey, you can't detect state parks. I think there might be one or two you can get a permit or something for a day or a couple hours. Cheesequake, you can detect the little lake, but it's like I think it's certain hours. I never go because I'm not much of a beach detector. Cheesequake itself will be awesome to detect, but you can't. It's a state park, but you can do the little lake beach. That same playground has broken ride toy and it is more of a hazard than moving the wood chips. Well, little Johnny might get, a little bruise on his knee if he falls from 3 inches.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things is all treasure hunters may be judged by the example you set. Always conduct yourself with courtesy and consideration for others. Even a practical Ken. Even if you know you're in the right, you are allowed to detect wherever it is you're at, and there's a super Karen there. I would just pack up and move on.
It's not worth getting into an argument over. Just leave.
It's not because we are judged. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Karen has her little fill, but somebody else may be watching the whole altercation and find you at fault
Yeah.
without knowing the whole story. So it's probably better to, just go ahead and move to a different area. Just like, okay, you're right. You could probably show her in writing that it says it's okay, but or him, because there's Kens too.
There's
Not you,
Ken's.
practical Ken. South end of LBI is federal land. Yeah, that's a bird sanctuary. Hey, David
Oh,
on
Luke.
Society Art.
Luke, you're playing with fire. Becca is going to kill you, man, if she reads that.
What did he say?
Oh, my God, my wife is a Karen. That was what Luke said. Becca's going to kill you.
Yeah, that too. You almost always know you're being
Oh,
recorded.
yeah.
Yeah, these days, yeah. They tell us in the post office too that act like every porch has a camera
Mm-hmm.
because 9 out of 10 do.
Yeah, you got that ring
Um,
doorbell or whatever.
yeah, I forget all the time, and I probably a lot of times probably should be paying attention that they do have it. Might have had beans the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to catch that on there.
Paul's here, American Wood Relics.
Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Belinda, how you doing? Hope you both are happy and doing well.
Another one's never destroy priceless historical or archaeological
Yeah.
treasures.
Dave
Sometimes
Hart,
it's
how you
hard.
doing?
Sometimes it's hard. I think we've all nicked a coin. I think a few of us have
Yeah.
broken things, very dainty pieces of copper and such. Um, I know I've seen where people have broken a shoe buckle that they found.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't. Gene has seven outdoor cameras. Hey, Tom Kingery, I didn't see you come in.
My old house, Gene, I was the same way. I had cameras pointing in every different direction.
It also says aid law enforcement officials whenever possible. So, like, if you find a gun or, a bloody knife or something,
Yeah.
or, a toe, make sure you alert the officials.
Well, I think Matt was telling me a story once where he turned in a wallet that he found metal detecting, and the cops were actually giving him the third degree over it. How'd you know it was there? Why were you in that particular area? It's like, dude, I'm just metal detecting. But the cops just kept grilling him until it got to the point where he said, I'll never turn another find in again. It wasn't worth it. It was just too much. They were like blaming, they were almost like accusing him of putting the wallet there and then coming back at a later date to retrieve it to make it look like he didn't know anything about it.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a few more rules to follow. Some of these you guys may not have heard. When coin shooting, never dig a full circle plug. That goes for relics too. We all know to hinge it. Some people don't, but we all know to hinge it. When the ground's really dry, though, it is rather difficult. I would stay away from private properties,
Definitely,
especially front yards, unless they water their yards 4 times a day. When it's dry, it's almost impossible to do a plug. I would stay off the nicer land. I would stay, if there's plowed fields, I would stay in that so that it doesn't have to be a beautiful, fill in, or the woods.
Hey, Johnny.
After tamping, I didn't know this part. After tamping the half round plug down, I used to put a little bit of water, or if it was really dry, a little bit of water or Miracle Grow mix.
Yeah.
Jab the coin probe in the plug a few times so that when it rains, the water has a place to go instead of surrounding it like a moat and leaving a dead spot. So poke a couple holes if you can.
See, I would
do not dig when the ground is dry.
Yeah, I do something like that with my shovel. I mean, I won't stab the ground again, but I'll break the surface and top of it so that it opens up so that when water does hit, it will go down.
Yeah, it definitely needs to get in there, even when it's dry and you get a little rain. Oh, that's awesome, Chad. Hey, Johnny Small
Good,
Pepper.
Chad.
Do not dig when the ground is dry. When the ground is dry, it's generally too hot to be out there anyway.
Yeah.
Even cutting a half-round plug will kill the grass. If you must hunt when the ground is dry, try cutting a slit in the grass. I do that too, but sometimes it just pop up.
Yep.
Most of us do use a ground cloth to catch any dirt. Usually when I'm in a nicer yard, if I'm in a nicer yard or semi-quasi-nice yard, I'll try not to
definitely
leave. But my 1894 house, last couple of videos you saw, and there was a little bit of dirt left over. That's okay because he's not there right now, and it was due to rain. So use a probe to locate coins 3 inches or less, and use the probe to pry them out of the ground. If you have a flimsy probe, then purchase one. When relic hunting, cover all holes. It doesn't matter if relic hunting in the woods, cornfield, or pasture, cover the holes back up. When relic hunting, carry out the rusted iron junk found. If you don't want to walk around with it in your bag, set it to the base of a tree. That's been pretty customary over the years. Anyway, I've seen it myself.
Hey, Rob,
finding a new area. I know somebody's hit it because there's big iron laid up against the base of trees. Yeah, somebody was here. Hey, CCD, Clark's Code Detecting.
I'll do that, and I swear I have every good intention of getting it on my way out. But there's times I've forgotten, or I went a different way and forgot about that.
Yeah, when they're really big, they're still going to be there. If it's deep in the woods. I do carry out the smaller pieces of iron that I find. Most of those I got off of Metal Detecting in the USA. For those who are new to detecting, it's a good thing to check out. They have a lot of different chapters on Metal Detecting. They have Metal Detecting Beginner's Guide. Getting started. This was written, actually, it was last updated April of this year, so it's pretty current.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got some good information in here. Like, there's a good one for you guys in the chat too. Says, bigger plug is better than a smaller one. More roots in a bigger plug have a better chance to take hold. Bigger as in circumference, not depth.
Gene, why are you going to say stuff like that with me up on here? Come on. No, I'm not touching. This is Rachel's stream. I'll bring it up again tomorrow, okay? On my stream.
Chapter 2 of this, I'm actually going to, because I know there's a few new people, so I'm going to throw the link to this in the chat. You guys can check it out. Those of you who are new, Viento Samurai, it's a good thing for you to look at too. So one of the chapter 2 is metal detecting worth it? Why go metal detecting? Let's start off with a simple question. Why do people go metal detecting, and what's so exciting about it?
Yeah, tell me. I want to know. Karen Yeoman, how you doing?
Oh, she came over on YouTube.
I just want to know what's there. It's the whole for me, it's the whole not knowing. I see a stretch of land, and if I'm able to detect it, I'm going to go try to detect it just because I want to see what was there. It's not always about finding silver. It's not always about finding gold or extremely valuable stuff. I just want to know what was there.
For me, I'm going to be watching chat in case one of you guys answer that. For me, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like fishing because I like fishing too. I just don't like taking the fish off the hook anymore for some reason. Hey, Dave Hart, acousticized.
Right,
He said
Gene.
it's going to make him a millionaire.
Yeah,
Scratch all tickets, addictive. So, like, you cast out your line, and so with fishing too, it's not all about catching the fish. A lot of it is the piece beforehand, and kind of like the buildup of excitement at the same time, and it's like a mixture of those two things, like meditative, but you're excited at the same time, so you're relaxed and like, ooh, I'm gonna find something good maybe. Hey, Mike, great finds.
hey, great.
Me too, Mike. That goes with it though, hand in hand. But what's so exciting about it? For me, actually, the exciting part is um, when I find something that's 200 plus years old, or even 100-year old now, 1923. When I find, I dig up something that's that old, and whether it's been tossed in a trash heap because a clasp broke or something,
Right.
or it fell out of their pocket, fell off their hat. They threw out their parasol, and all I found was a parasol top. But it's the first time somebody's touched that, held it, and admired it in 100+ years.
Yep.
And that's mostly why I like relics more than coins. And all the coins to me, like the old, like KGs and large cents, they're relics to me more than anything. You can't spend them. Gold coin
I
that.
can't. You have no idea how true that is because I recently found a really interesting piece that I couldn't identify after researching. So Rachel and I collaborated on it, and Rachel finally came up with what it was. So that's part of the fun, figuring out what the hell is this thing.
Yeah, that's the other part. I mean, I will sit here sometimes with things I find, and this was my last outing to the 1894 house. This is a Grover Cleveland token from Reader's Digest in 1997. They did a whole series of presidential little aluminum
Mm-hmm.
tokens. And it took me a while to find it because, it's not the prettiest thing.
Yeah,
So, um, so yeah, research and stuff is definitely a big part of it. It's fun. I like it. Expression says, go on. I enjoy being outside and I enjoy looking for lost things.
yeah.
Dirt
It gives you a
fishy.
nice natural high when you discover what it is. And to me, no drug can replace that natural high you get from figuring out what something is after you find it, metal detecting or whatever type of treasure hunting you do. It's that aha moment that gives you that high.
Exactly. Dispatch said the thrill of the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that, Paul. I hope you're still hitting that spot because there's definitely stuff there for you. I love history now. Relics are awesome, but the history is amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, Patty.
I got it. I was telling somebody the other day. I loved history. I loved learning it, and my favorite period actually is colonial America, up to and including, the Revolutionary War. And my interest in history came from going to a wedding when I was 8 that was held at the Tenet Church. And the church I went to, each pew is what, 10, 12 foot long, with like a little center brace in it. These were like sectioned off with little doors in between the sections. Each section was about 6 foot long. So it was like an 18-foot pew with 3 sections on both, And so this church was used as a hospital during the Battle of Monmouth. And I had heard that, I was told that the blood stains are still on the seats and they have these red cushions on the bottom seat. So, of course, I lifted up. And I'm sure over the years they've been restaining to make sure it's still visible, And I think at that point is when I became that piqued my interest.
When you got
And, so I always enjoy, like, I'll watch historical documentaries, I'll watch movies, whatever. It's just a huge interest in it. And so to hold these objects from that same time period is just like a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, storytelling about the objects. Sometimes I've done that too. I like the fact that I don't know what it is till I dig it. That's what I always say. You don't know till you dig it.
Very true.
Yes, a natural high. It's a gift from the past.
And even then, you still don't know what it is. So you dig a little more, and you have a friend to help you. You're over there. That's right. To help identify it, and then it gives you both a high.
Exactly. I was quite happy. I was just like, maybe,
Now, after I researched it, I was like, holy crap, Rachel was right.
Well, my past life, I had one of those. So.
Okay.
I'm happy to be outside, into the woods, walking, digging, socializing with more men than women. As quilting and teaching is so female-dominated, true. Love American history.
I've been talking about it so much. I've been talking about. I'm gonna go grab it, Rachel, real quick. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay, I'll just show everybody since I've been talking about it so much.
Yeah, family trees are fun to do too. I mean, you find some interesting stuff out sometimes. I will make
crazy little thing. Started Rachel and I off on a little, what would you call it? Quest for truth.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was a spoon, and I bounced it off Rachel, and she said it could be, but the stem's too thin. But it's very ornate up on top. I know you can't see it too well because of the light's in the shadow, but it's very ornate at one time.
Yeah, it's got a lot of decorative on it.
Yeah, and then Rachel just happened to bring up, you know what that looks like? Anybody want to take a guess what Rachel thought?
Yeah, we'll give you a second. What do you think that is? It's got fancy on the stem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, up here it's got like leaves. Down on this, there's more leaves, but if I can get the light to cast, there we go. I got some of the light. You can see some of the fancy now.
Yeah.
No, Dan, not a spoon handle, not a shoe, not a butter knife.
Have a good night,
Gima. Paddle. It could be a paddle for a mouse.
Have a good night, Gima. Thanks for popping in. Expression said, butter knife.
Whirligig blade. I thought of that too. But after we researched it, we found out this was actually a Victorian-aged hair stick or a hairpin. Like how women would tie their hair up and then shove this down in to hold it in place. That's what that turned out to be.
Yeah, it probably either had gilt or wash on it.
Yeah.
Probably
because
gilt.
On the back, you can still see some of the gilt. If I catch, there it goes. If I can catch the light right, you can still see some of it.
It's a little specks down at the bottom.
Yep, that crazy little thing was a Victorian-aged hair stick. And that blew my mind to find that there. Thanks, Rachel.
You're welcome, Mark. The best thing Paul thinks they found had to be when Belinda found part for an old photograph. Yeah.
Get me off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't mean that.
Way off.
I remember that, Paul. I wasn't there when Belinda found that, but Paul spent a while researching that, and he found out what it was. And you wouldn't have known to see this part. You look at that part, and you're like, what in the heck?
I think I know which one you're talking about.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like part of the little. I think it was part of the little
darn thing was deep. It was just a blip. It was like 8 inches down. In dry soil, it was just a tiny little beep. And I'm like, it just sounds too good to pass. And I'm glad I didn't pass that up.
No, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's too bad the whole thing wasn't there, but that's
Oh,
probably
wouldn't
why
it
she
be fun?
tossed it or lost it.
Yeah, it probably broke
Yeah,
it. I think they were just rolling around in the hay there, and next thing you know, she snapped it, and just left it.
could be, could be, could be. Yeah. So this place this is actually a pretty good article. I'm going to throw it in there again.
Cool.
You can share it with new people and detecting that it's pretty good. It's from metal detecting the USA.com.
You can put it up on your Facebook site. This way
Yeah, I'm
everybody
gonna
can
share it
see
up there too. It's written by Mark McDermott.
dispatching
I
detected. The other half is in the dude. Hey, you never know, man. I don't know what happened back then. It could very well be.
I mean, he says I don't know what he says. Best beginner metal detector and stuff. I don't know about that. It says F22, Simplex, Ace 300, Bounty Hunter Tracker 4, Garrett AT Pro. I don't know if I would say the Garrett AT Pro is the best for beginners. It's beginner friendly.
Yeah. Paul, in respect to Linda, I will not answer that question. Tune in Thursday, and I will.
Yeah, this is if you guys want to share that link that I put in the chat out with anybody that's just getting in. I mean, I've only like glanced at this metal detecting USA article that I just shared, metal detecting. It's good for beginners. It's
Mm-hmm.
updated. It's got the newer machines on it. So, I mean, obviously the best metal detectors would be the opinion of the author. But he put good machines on there, so expression
Yeah, that's
says,
what I was to say. That's one thing that does bother me when somebody says, "What do you recommend as a beginner metal detector?" And the person who swings an Equinox is more than likely going to say, "Get an Equinox 800." Yeah, but yeah, I like to tell everybody, you got to ask questions. What do you want to do? What type of hunting do you want to do? Are you really thinking you're going to be enjoying this hobby long term? Yeah. Instead of just making them think they need a real super expensive machine or a top of the line machine, which you always don't need.
yeah, how much they want to spend. I
Yeah.
usually recommend the bounty hunters, especially the Tracker 4. I always say, I mean, it has discrimination on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I always recommend the
But
CTX 3030.
yeah, well, I recommend what is that one that's like $5,000? I think
Oh, that
Garrett makes it.
helps. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
yeah. The Axiom.
Yep, that's it. Yeah,
I
it
always
goes.
recommend, but I do recommend the Bounty Hunter 4, Tracker 4, especially if like they're new in the hobby. Or like, well, I'm new in the hobby. I'm looking to detect and da da da. So it's not going to really matter what they're looking for. Right now, it just matters: are you going to stick with it? I'd hate to see you even spend $300 on an entry level machine and give up after couple weeks because all you're finding is trash. Because you're going to find 99.9% trash
Hmm.
unless you look out and it happens that you're in a field that's just popping out everything nice, for the first couple hunts, you're still going to end up digging up trash eventually. So it's a
Yeah,
trash filled, and we don't mean 1800s trash that we like to collect. So yeah, dispatch. I already want to upgrade GPX 5000. That's it. Yeah, I knew the 5000 was in it. So I always tell them like, for me, the Bounty Hunter Tracker 4 is dig or don't dig.
yeah,
That's it. So you get a grunt, it's iron. Do you want to dig iron? That's on you. You get a ding, it's not iron, but who knows what it could be. You have to dig it to find out. So when you know you're going to be digging trash just to find if you're going to find treasure, and I found treasure with the Tracker 4, but I think spending less than $100 to see first if you don't mind digging trash, and you will find
yes,
coins, you will find relics. You're just not going to be able to have. You don't have a VDI.
yeah. My very first detector was a Harbor Freight 9 function. The only thing it did was go beep, beep, and the thing swung and it didn't mean anything, because It pegged every time you went over something, but you heard a grunt, you knew it was an iron. If you got a mid tone, you knew it was something possibly good or a bottle top. You got a high tone, you dug it regardless. But yep, best $50 I spent in my life.
Danny boy, that's true. I mean, you could swing any machine as a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
You can, but the higher the machine, basically, there is a learning curve too. So yeah, they can go out and they could buy the Knox 900. They could buy a CTX 3030 as their first machine. They're still going to have to dig every single beep they hear.
To learn it.
Right. They still have to learn it. So first, you got to find out. I mean, do you really want somebody, a friend of yours coming into the hobby? Oh, what machine should I get? Oh, get the 3030. What is that, $3,000? They've never swung anything. Come back 2 weeks later, it's on, buy, sell, or trade metal detectors.
Yeah.
And this hobby ain't for me. I thought buying a $3,000 machine, I'd never find. I've seen people say, all I'm finding is trash, and I bought whatever machine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter the machine.
All
Your
machines find
location,
trash. Yeah.
your location, and your research on the location, and you're gonna find trash. And learning your machine.
Firefighter, I had that same issue with my 300. If I bumped tall grass, it would go off. If I bumped a corn stalk, it would signal a good sound. Just had to learn to ignore that.
Night, Chad. Tell
Hey,
Nicole
Chad,
I
take
said good
care.
night. Team PG5 for life. I would say
Get
the
back
Beach Beginner
breaking.
Xterra Pro for 200. Or for Relic Beginner Legend.
You find out their budget. Yep.
Yep. Or I suggest to someone, hey, backbreaking. I would suggest that if you have friends that detect, and either I don't think you're sitting there by yourself watching metal detecting videos, but you might be. But if you know people that are swinging, try their machine out.
A lot of times they'll let you. A lot of times they have a backup machine they always carry with them. They're like, here, yeah, use it.
Well, actually, the AT Pro, any Garrett will do that. And actually, a lot of machines will do that. Might get a little tick.
Yeah, lucky duck. You know what, Paul? Talk. There's just so many people who give you so many different responses about the Xterra. It's either they love it or they hate it. I haven't found anybody who is in the middle yet.
What is he saying?
Which Paul says, what's y'all's thoughts on the Xterra Pro Belinda one? And like I said, there's people that absolutely hate it, and there's people that absolutely love it. I haven't really found anybody in the middle of the road yet on the Xterra.
I haven't swung it or anything, but I honestly haven't heard anything too bad about it. Anything bad said about it is usually somebody swinging a higher end machine.
I'll agree to a bit. Danny, he had the Xterra and he just hated it. Charlie, digging it back, he had it. He just absolutely hated it. And now Park Rat Pat, he has higher end machines and he loves that Xterra. He thinks it's a really good machine.
I think, it's like with me with the Apex. The Apex is an awesome machine. It did find a dime on edge, let me use a quarter. On edge, with the coil coming over it. Leave this.
Yeah.
So on edge going this way. So like this.
Yep.
Not this way, where you should hear it. This way, you really, any other machine, you wouldn't hear it. It did hear it. And the Knox and the AT Pro did not hear it.
Yep.
But I don't like the sounds of the tones.
Yeah, expressions. The Simplex, good strong machine, but I don't like the tones. It just nails on a chalkboard. And to me, it's just a little bit heavy. Yeah, but like I said, there's Paul there. He loves his Simplex. And just for me, it's not for me. Just basically the tones.
He fell in love with the Simplex. He fell in love with my Simplex.
Yeah, didn't he?
Yeah. Simplex is a good machine. It wasn't for me, but
See,
it's a great
yeah,
machine. Um,
it was the tones,
I
man. The
think
tones
Simplex
just
is a
drove the
good,
bananas.
yeah. I think the Legend is a step upgrade, but um, I suggested the Simplex a lot to beginners. It is beginner friendly. You can even tweak it a little bit, without like messing yourself up, like getting a Knox and then going around doing dumb stuff, like, and then I can't
Oh, I
find
got
anything because you notched out everything on your machine. Yep, it's Rachel's fault. I just made a short of my Ace 300 detected dime on edge, just like Jersey Ray showed. It did detect it.
nice. See, it's like any
Yeah,
machine will find the target. You just need to be over it, and you got to be over it the right way.
yeah. Sometimes you can miss a target by just
Right,
a
Jim?
fraction of an inch because people don't realize with the double D, you're working with,
Yeah, there's
a
that
V
gap.
shape. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a V shape. So a concentric coil, you have a cone. So depending on the size of the coil, is the size how deep that cone is going. But even deep, you're only going to have a pinpoint of that's going to be picking it up. So where right at the surface, that cone is wider, so you have a wider spread of what you're going over. And on the double D, it's like a wedge.
Right,
So when
Gene.
you're going
Yeah.
over. Hey, Relic Reaper.
Hey, Rock Reaper.
Yeah, that's true, Gene. You just have to swing over it. Now, we can't really say any as long as the machine goes beep beep, it doesn't matter what you spend. Unfortunately, there are really craptastic machines
Oh yeah.
coming from China on Amazon. And they're like I think what Suntan or something like that is one of the
Could
brands.
be. It
And
could
they're
be.
like 50, $60. And I've heard people saying they're beeping whether or not they're swinging.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I used to say it all the time, but these really bad machines are flooding the market, and I'm seeing a lot of complaints and a lot of people getting frustrated. New people to the hobby getting frustrated because these machines just are not working. Sun Power, yeah, Sun Power is one of them,
Yeah.
and they're not working. They're just not. Yeah, edit not every machine. Um, so outside of the Chinese things coming over here that are just craptastic crap and the cloned Garrett stuff.
Yeah.
Outside of that, if you get a reputable, manufacturer and a machine from them, any of those will beep over metal. It's whether or not you want to dig it, and you have to be over that metal to beep beep. And my suggestion is if you're in a place that everything you're digging, every single tone you get, and you're digging every tone, you're not cherry picking, you're not discriminating, and you're digging, 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 and you're doing 300 holes, and every single hole is trash, it's probably not a good spot to be digging.
Right.
Yeah, pinpointers too. That's right, Paul. That's probably not the spot to be digging. You might want to research and find yourself another spot because most likely it's either been previously cleaned out or it literally just is a trash pile. Because humans are pigs and we just leave our trash
Unfortunately.
everywhere.
Chinese hunting.
I just saw that.
I
Anytime.
had one that a company sent to me. I think it was pile metal detectors. That thing would beep. You turn it on, it would beep. You'd swing it, it would beep. So I learned that when it doesn't beep, that's when you dig. That's when the good stuff popped up.
Yeah, I do, but I do see it in, I pay attention to these groups and I see what people post and the questions that are put out there and the frustration sometimes. And it's like, if all you're finding is trash and if you are honestly digging every single tone and all you're finding is trash, um, modern change, but some people like it, but
Take Danny. He's good at finding clad.
yeah, modern change, uh, which isn't really trash, but pull tabs, pencil eraser, little metal pieces, pen cap. I don't know. I've seen people, like their foil, gum wrappers, anything metallic you're digging up and it's all trash. It's probably not a spot to be detecting. You might want to go and detect someplace else. Before Patty started detecting, she had bought 2 magnets for magnet fishing. Well, once you become the master detectorist, you got to go start doing magnet fishing.
I can't do magnet fishing. I'm sorry. I tried it. This is my reasoning behind it. If I get angry because I find iron buried in the ground, I'm going to get just as angry when I pull iron out of the river.
Yeah.
Plus, the iron out of the river is wet, sloppy, and nasty. So,
well, it depends on where you're going to. Like, if you're going, I mean, yeah, you see people love those magnet fishing where they're pulling out, pieces of guns and whatnot. And
yeah, that's fine.
clips. Yeah. But you have to be in a high crime rate area, basically. I mean, I've done a few of the little rivers around here and find squat, maybe a fishing hook or two. So, I didn't really get into it either. If I went to the big thing where they're going in the river over there in Michigan, with that big fundraiser, Iron Antler and all them, I would probably have more fun. But here, I'm finding those little black rocks that stick and fish hooks.
Well, I tell you what, come down to Pittsburgh, magnet fish the Ohio with me, and you'll catch hepatitis.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I don't want hepatitis. I have to agree with Paul. I hate finding ketchup packets too. I find a lot of those on the beach.
Yeah, that's true, Lucky Duck. Yeah, to find the lures and stuff.
Like finding lures, magnets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, if you're going to reuse them, that's cool. Some of the hooks I found you probably couldn't use again. Started detecting again when I mastered fishing. ABC mark?
What? ABC mark. What am I missing?
Cuz is back. Hey, Shannon.
Oh, hepatitis. All. Yeah, dispatch. You get all forms of hepatitis down at the Pittsburgh rivers.
Hey, I'll tell you, I canoed the Delaware River from the Gap all the way to the bottom of New Jersey when I was younger. And when you get to Philadelphia, literally the water, there is a line across the water that goes from blue to hit Philadelphia, and it's black. The river is black. You can see the separation in the water. It's crazy.
That's what happens when the Monongahela and the Ohio meet to make the Monongahela and the Allegheny meet to make the Ohio down to Point. You can just see it's clearer water here, muddier water here, and just how it conjugates to form the Ohio.
I like there's 2 rivers that meet. I think it's in South America, but you can see the different saline content of the 2 rivers. So they're 2 different colors. Neither one of them are pollution colors. Just just 2 different colors of blue, and they just meet and they head on into the sea from there. But every time I see that, I don't remember which rivers it is, but I used to always, every time I run across that picture, I'm like, that's so cool. Not like going down to Delaware and seeing pretty blue, black.
Yeah.
And then
up here.
I'm sitting there in a little canoe while there's big, cargo ships going by. And we're in our little tiny canoes like, la, 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 la. Can't even see all the way to the top of that cargo ship. It's so big compared to our tiny little canoes. And then I was scared. I was like, I'm not liking this. And we weren't that close, but close enough for me.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, dispatch, as we call it here. Oh, poop water.
Yeah. Pretty. Ugh. But it is. I guess it's probably still like that. I mean, that was almost 40 years ago, but I'm pretty sure it's still like that. I don't know if I would canoe the Delaware River again because that was an experience. I think at some points we should add a whitewater raft thing. Because over the
No, I'm
whitewater
fine.
rapids in a canoe.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine.
I was telling who was I telling the story to? It might have been Chad and Nicole. I went tubing down the Delaware, and that's a big step for me. I only did it the one and only time with a group of people. Because you're in the tube, and your butt's in the water.
Yeah.
So we're going down.
Oh yeah.
It was scary in a 21-foot aluminum boat. I bet. We're going down the river, and like my frontal lobe knows that there was a stick in the water, poking out of the water. But my primordial fear area, my fight or flight, said that was not a stick, but something trying to grab me and pull me into the water. It touched like my upper thigh, lower butt cheek, and I was up and out of that tube, and I was no longer Rachel. I was Jesus. I ran across that water, and I would not go back in. Jesus walked on water. Rachel ran on it.
You know water.
You got butterflies. I don't know which. Oh, so you stayed in Princeton, right? I don't know. Unless you went to the
Paul,
beach down here.
Yeah, Paul, you
Sandy
wouldn't
Hook Bridge.
like
Sandy
Pittsburgh.
Hook Bridge is pretty high.
I say you won't like Pittsburgh. We're the city of bridges, buddy.
Well, you're talking about the ones on your way home, though, right? Like, yeah, you would have hit the Delaware Memorial Bridge. That's pretty high. I canoed under it. It's even higher when you're underneath it. You went under. What do you call it?
Oh wow.
The Baltimore Tunnel. I think that's longer than the Lincoln Tunnel. I do. Both ways.
Well, hey Rachel, I'm gonna book. I still got some.
Yeah, we're gonna pop off here.
Work
You
I
got to
gotta
work
do.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I got to finish up some paperwork tonight so I can get paid. That's true, Gene. We do. There's even so many bridges here that they don't know still. Yeah, they don't name. They don't know who owns them. They don't know the name of them. They don't know who built them. They don't know the last time they were checked.
What's up, Creek Creek? Creek Geek.
Hey, Crick Geek.
Creek Geek.
Crick Geek.
We want to.
All
I
right.
say I'm okay with the bridges. Not okay with the tunnels. I'm claustrophobic.
Hmm.
You too, Tom. We're gonna be ending this here pretty soon.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to be really scared of tunnels as well. I used to close my eyes and hold my breath and drive through it. Once I realized that didn't work too well, I got over my fear of tunnels.
Oh yeah, Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Oh yeah, I hate the turnpike here.
I like
Oh,
driving through the
tunnels?
mountain. Yeah, I like driving. You're just driving up to the mountain, then you're driving through the mountain. That's cool.
Oh, that's right. I misread that. Especially, I call it the double tunnel. Yeah. As soon as
Oh,
you
the
go
mountain
to
after mountain.
one, yeah,
Yeah,
by
then
the
you're
bottom
right
of
into
road,
the next
there's
one.
another one. Yeah, the double
Yeah,
tunnel. Yeah, I
I
like
like
it.
those ones.
Yep. Yeah, when
Well,
I took Piper out to come out swinging, yeah, I was like, guess what we're coming up to? She goes, what? I said, the double tunnel. She goes, what's a double tunnel? I said, watch. Went through it, boom, went through another one. She goes, that was so cool.
yeah, I always like that. I mean, that's almost worth the turnpike fee.
Yeah.
Almost. Gene says I could do tunnels, but not underwater tunnels. Well, either one of those tunnels give way, you're dead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
100 gazillion million tons of a mountain or 100 gazillion million tons of water. Have a great night, Piney Man. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah, guys, have a good night. Thanks for joining us and listening to our shenanigans.
Yeah. I hope you got something from it tonight, or thank you for your input as well. Toll booths do suck, Paul. I guess you found out the joke is true. You pay to get into New Jersey and pay twice as much to leave the state.
I just want to remind everybody there will be a quiz on the code of ethics next Wednesday on Rachel's show, so study hard. Want to make certain everybody gets an A on that.
Yeah. And if you win, you get a lovely Zinkin.
I'll double that with 2 zincs.
There you go. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining as you did. For those who stayed throughout the show, who came late, who left early, all of you all.
You guys
each
rock.
and every one of you rock. I appreciate each and every one of you. If there was anybody new you noticed in the chat, give them a hello. I did make Nightbot share Stuck on You Metal Detecting's link. I hope you hit that. If you know anybody new in the hobby, this is a really good article. I've put it in the chat. I'm going to put it one more time before we end this. Go ahead and hop on over and look at it and give it to new people. It's a really good article.
Look at it.
Yeah, it's a good article. I'm going to be sharing it myself. So peace to all of you. Thank you for joining in. If you're going out this weekend, because it looks like it might cool off just a little bit. Hey, Charles, you're coming down as I'm leaving. But anyway, it's good to see you, buddy. So if you're getting out this weekend, find some good stuff. If it's hot, stay hydrated. Make sure you have electrolytes with you. Electrolytes. And keep electrolyted. And I will see you in the chats, in the streams Friday night. Hopefully I'll pop into some on Saturday night. Hopefully I'll pop into some on Sunday and Monday. And then we'll be back here again on Tuesday. Thursday night,
and Thursday. Yeah, don't forget Thursday.
Thursday night at
7.
Is it 7? Thursday night, 7 p.m.
Oh, no, wait. 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. 8 o'clock. I forgot. 8 o'clock.
Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Jump into Mark's stream. The dream stream.
Yeah, the dream stream. Anything goes. Trust me on that.
If you got a dirty mind, that's where to go. All right. Peace, peeps. I will see you again. Good night.